Hello again, friends, and welcome to another fine edition of 151. My name is Adam, and I am joined by a man who once a year partakes in a ritual hunt for humans.
Heidi-ho.
Friends, his name is Justin.
Hey, how's it going?
We're 151. We're brought to you by Skeleton Wines. You can find out more about them at their website, skeletonwines.com, or on their social media account, which is Facebook. It's at Skeleton Vineyards. All that information will be at the bottom of the page, along with information about us. You can find us on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube. We hope that you subscribe to all those channels, and we hope that you find us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr, all at 151 The Show.
All you really need to remember about us is I like long walks on the beach, and he likes romantic candlelit dinners.
Yes, and our website is 151theshow.com.
That too.
That's where I thought you were going with that,
No,
but you know.
no.
Okay, so the last couple shows have been nothing but nonsense.
And we're embracing it.
And today is going to be complete and utter nonsense. So hopefully you are prepared for this. Hopefully you're ready. And hopefully, hopefully this goes well. Because we were kind of trying to think about, you know, what do we want to talk about here? And it's like, okay, well, we had some from Facebook. I've got a couple stories that I think are hilariously funny. At least for me, they are. I amuse myself, though, a lot of times. And then there's Justin.
Hey, how's it going? I'm having a great time.
So where do you want to start? Which part? Do you want to start with the story? Do you want to start with... well, actually, I have two Facebook stories.
Right.
Those are the ones that are just funny, and I want to tell so I can tell.
The one thing that we talked about that I wasn't sure would go for a whole show, but probably does need to be addressed is... when last show we were when I said there you go, people taking stuff too seriously or going too far.
Yeah. Which I guess you could put me into that group because of how much
on occasion.
Yeah.
On occasion when I get those random texts from you. What did you think about this piece of minutia and what the implications? And I'm like, I don't know. Never put that much thought into it. Of course, then again, I did the same thing to you the other day.
Yeah, with Space Force?
Yeah. Okay, so...
Okay, we'll start with Space Force.
We'll start with Space Force. So
we'll go from there.
I had a completely random thought the other day. I read something or heard something that inspired this, and this popped like fully formed out of my brain.
And you don't have a whole lot of these random fan theory stuff.
No. So this is going to verge and touch on the political... so just go with me on this. No implications, no whatever. So, and I'm not trying to solicit feedback or anybody's opinion. It's just a thought.
Okay.
So, they were going to step back to the last presidential elections we had. One of the platforms that Hillary Clinton was running on was one of the listed things was disclosure.
UFO disclosure.
UFO disclosure. Based on, declassifying governmental files, this, that, and the other. So, her chief of staff, Podesta, was the guy who got his emails hacked. There was email after email. He was the Blink-182 guy who we could talk about.
Yeah, he completely left doing music and now is just into ufology.
Yeah. He was trying to get a hold of him, a lot of the, basically Podesta is a believer and really wants to...
He's a believer in...
Yes. Woo! So, every time we smack the table, my headphone goes in and out.
Oh,
so,
sorry.
Thanks, Dick. It's thrown me off for a second, but anyway, there's the background there. So here's what I'm thinking. Maybe the reason that everybody was so dead set, on Trump not getting elected is because they had this, oh God, maybe they know something. Maybe they were afraid of what was going to happen. So Trump wins. They get him in there and they say, okay, here's the deal. let's say we're in contact, or here's certain information. This is the only information we're going to give you, because you wouldn't give a sitting president any more information you'd have to have years in deep before you ever got to this level.
In the world of ufology, the president is not the top of the mountain.
No,
he's not even close.
Right. But so let's say that they said, okay, here is the information that you have to have. Mm-hmm. So let's say that you present that to him and you convince him that it's important enough not to, go immediately and start tweeting about it.
Yeah.
But that you give enough information that the dude, whatever you want to say about him, he's not an idiot. The dude starts putting two and two together. How do you think under that scenario that Donald Trump would react? I have 2 words for you. Space Force. Guess what just got announced? Space Force. Think about that one.
See, I kind of went the other way that and it's, I don't know, it's kind of dumb, but maybe the reason she didn't get elected
was because
disclosure.
Right. I don't know, but can we title this episode
Space
Force?
Yeah, we can do it. I was going to do disclosure. But
/Space Force.
So you bring up that, and I had a run-in with a UFO guy. This is one of the stories I wanted to tell because, who was it on the Facebook page that was like, "Hey, talk about ufology and UFOs and stuff." It just happened.
Okay. Zach wanted a full 3-part in-depth analysis of Infinity War.
Which you got one.
Yeah. Travis,
okay.
aliens. Yeah.
Okay, so to pull back the curtain on what we do here at the show.
No.
The curtain is back.
Right.
No, so
and I really wish I had the hair from that. I'm not saying it was aliens, but...
Oh, that dude? It's aliens?
Aliens.
Yeah. So last fall, if you guys have paid attention to the show, usually during the month of October, we will do paranormal shows just to kind of get into the mood of Halloween and that sort of thing. I'm a big fan of Halloween, plus I like paranormal stuff.
Right.
Justin doesn't give a
No, not really.
So last fall, I was looking at different stuff, and I'm like, well, we did ghost stuff the year before. We've had Eric Klein on, who's great, and Jarrett and Seth and stuff. And
I love those guys.
It's like, but we haven't done anything with ufology.
No, and those are some of my favorite shows, my very favorite shows.
The paranormal shows?
Yeah, having Eric and Jarrett and Seth, those I love.
We got to get, you haven't met Seth's brother yet.
I have not.
He's a good dude.
We've gone back and forth on Facebook. I feel like I've talked a lot of to a guy that I've never met.
Yeah.
In good fun.
And they got to do the thing at Comic-Con, which I went to. It was really good. They did really well. So well done, guys.
I hate you.
Anyways, yeah, really. It's like, why can't we do a thing at Comic-Con?
Right.
Why can't I be the celebrity for once?
Really?
Yeah, really.
And why can't we do a thing at Comic-Con? Our last 2 shows.
Probably right. Anywho, so to get to this stupid story, last fall, looking to do the paranormal
we
stuff.
We reached out. We wanted to do some UFO.
I reached out to a bunch of different UFO groups, okay? And one got back to me, and that it sputtered out, and they stopped writing me at one point.
Basically made a referral.
Yeah.
Right.
And it just didn't pan out. So, anyways, fast forward to last May.
Yep.
I'm sitting at work, and I get a notification on my phone from Facebook, and it says that someone had liked a post I did. Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, it's one of the UFO posts.
Right.
From like 8 months ago or whatever it was. And I'm like, what? Why? It took you this long to get around to this? And so I kind of got a little pissed off at it.
You flamed it.
Yes, I did, but I didn't name the group.
Right.
That's the big thing here. I did not name the group, but I said, I put out a post, and I said, hey, Justin and I, we do a show called 151.
Right.
We're very proud of it, and, it took you 8 months, and it was just a general post on my page. It wasn't on, 151 social media. So, anyways, this dude comments.
It was a vent. It was nobody got named by name. Yeah. Nobody got called out.
And this dude gets on there, and I don't even remember his name, but he's like, well, I'm pretty sure that we got back to you. and started doing stuff, and then he started taking screenshots of the message. Lo and behold, the person that liked the comment was the same one that actually got back to me that sputtered out.
Right.
And I sent out a bunch of these. I didn't put it together that it was the same group. I forgot that we had done the direct messaging. So, and as the night went, I was like, you know what? And people are making fun of this and stuff. And again, never once name these people by name.
And he's texting me throughout the night to bring my attention to it. And then I get a text of, I kind of remember this now.
Yeah. So, and I put out an update. I put out an apology to the guy.
Right.
That, hey, you know what? This was one of the groups that got back to me. It's my bad.
Right.
No big
deal. Their referral went nowhere.
Yes.
The person they referred to come on the show completely blew it off. But they did not.
This is where the story this is where it gets interesting, because at one point you realize, oh God, the UFO guy's right.
Right.
that was,
which is not a phrase that you ever
no. That was the thing. It was like, oh God, I just got schooled by the UFO guy.
Right.
On being wrong about something. Here's what pissed me off about the whole situation was, okay, I did that on my page, never once named names, anything like that, right? I get tagged, or somehow I look on their page, and he has the screenshot of our conversation, and is blasting me on their website. Right? So I put up another comment, and I go, hey, it was my mistake.
Right.
I apologize.
You're right.
Whatever.
You're right, UFO guy. Good job.
Yeah, exactly. And then, some other girl, she wrote, this seems like the type of thing that could have been just taken care of. It seems like an honest mistake could have been taken care of easily.
Right.
So then, then it's like, oh, there's blood in the water now. So I go, I get on there. I'm like, no, he deserves to do this to me because I was wrong.
Right.
And this is the best way to handle this.
Right.
At this point, I've already had to admit that the UFO guy is right.
And the UFO guy has now blacklisted us. I'm sure the bridges are burnt. Let's just go for it.
And I'm still not mentioning names though.
No, never have.
And that's one of the comments I put. It was like,
and we won't.
No, but in the thing I said on the thing he put with my name on it, picture and all that, I was like, I didn't actually mention names or anything like that, but you know what? He deserves to do.
Right.
And then I just started peppering this dude with memes. Just one alien one after another.
Nice.
And he ended up deleting the whole string.
Nice.
But it was like I said, it was my mistake.
Right.
I didn't put it together that was the same group.
Right.
It was also 8 months and a lifetime ago.
Right.
So, do we still want to do a UFO show? Absolutely.
Yes. If there's anybody out there listening, watching right now that has an alien connection,
and not
if you've been abducted, that's a little bit different. But if you have,
unless you're Travis Walton who got abducted, I don't want to hear from you.
Okay.
You know who that is?
I don't.
Fire in the Sky, the movie.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. But no, we're still looking to do a UFO show at some point. We really are. But it was just one of those moments where it's like, oh, God damn it, the UFO guy's right.
Right.
And I have to admit this in front of everybody.
Right.
And then I went down kicking and screaming with all the memes.
Right.
So.
Right, because really, we were gonna do the trifecta as far as I'm concerned in the month of October last year, the paranormal, Bigfoot, and UFOs.
Which Seth has said that we can go Bigfoot hunting with him. In his organization, CCPI, I believe. Yeah. They've changed to Bigfoot.
Right.
They don't do the paranormal anymore. They just do Bigfoot.
They're Bigfoot. They're just plain Bigfoot now.
So.
In fact, and Seth, you have a standing invitation, as we've talked. I have 10 acres of timber here. You are more than welcome to come out anytime and play in my woods. That's not a euphemism. Don't look at me like that.
You can play in my backyard, baby. So, anyways, yeah. So that's
maybe I'll smoke you some meat.
Traeger grill. But yeah, I mean that's a pretty bad day when the UFO guy is right.
Absolutely.
But like I said, I didn't. How
big
names.
Do you feel?
I didn't name names, and I didn't blast. It was like one of those. Like, wow, it took you 8. And why 8 months later would you like a
Right.
a random comment from last August or September or whatever it was?
Stalking the page.
It
I
didn't
don't
like
know.
something didn't add up there.
Right.
And it was just one of those. It was like, okay, I'm wrong. I get it.
Yeah. Did you feel like you were probed?
A little bit.
That were
Well, the amount of memes I sent that way.
Right.
Oh, it was a lot.
That's what I do with wrong numbers.
Memeing them?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Nice.
When you get a text from a random number.
Yeah. See, I don't get texts from random numbers.
Oh, I still on occasion do. Yeah, no, it's just all memes. I have a set of wrong number memes.
Yeah.
That's great.
Nice. Okay, so anyways, so that's one Facebook story I had. Can I tell the other one real quick?
Yeah,
because
go
it just
ahead.
happened. Because you kind of brought it up about, and it made me think of it.
Right.
In the last show about fans that take it too far.
Right.
So there's this group that I used to belong to. It was like invitation only,
Okay.
on Facebook, and it was for Star Trek stuff. I'm not going to name what page
Okay.
it was or whatever. But
Oh, come on. Let's piss more people off.
no, I didn't even name the UFO people there.
No.
But anyways, so the guy puts up a post, and it's about Star Trek Discovery. And
Okay.
it's one of those ones where it, like, with us, it's like, the more you mention it, the more people are going to do this, okay?
Right.
He was getting mad that people were calling for the abbreviation for Star Trek Discovery
As STD.
as STD.
Right.
He goes, we're all adults here, and da-da-da-da-da, and it just made it sound like, you nerd.
Right.
That's really what I thought every time I read this.
Right.
It's like, God, I like this stuff, but
Right.
this dude likes this stuff.
Right.
He's in love with this stuff.
Right.
So, anyways, so I just,
I saw a similar one online recently. There was a video,
yeah.
and it was political stuff, but the group is like, do not share this video. They're using it against us, and they have the video attached. It's like,
Yeah, what are you
come
thinking?
on.
What are you thinking here?
Quit calling attention to it.
So, anyways, so I put up a comment, and it's like, and it's this same thing. It's like, the more
Right.
you mention it,
Right.
the more you bring it up, the more people are going to do it,
Right.
right? This is the world of, this is the land of the
Right.
internet. People
Right.
don't let things go.
Right.
Much like the UFO guy. Or much like podcast hosts who's pissed off at the UFO guy.
No, but when we do it, it's called a callback.
Yeah. So, anyways, so one of their admin guys, like, starts writing me,
Right.
and like he says something. He goes, "We're making a point," or I forget what it was.
Right.
And then I saw the number of people they actually have or in the group, and I started genuinely becoming curious about some stuff, and then all of a sudden they shut off the comments.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, that's dumb. I didn't do anything wrong. I want my answers, god damn it.
Right.
So I write the guy a personal message, a direct message,
Right.
and I just go, hey, so we, things get a little out of hand, or they don't go your way, and you shut off the thing, and well, we make a point and we cut it off at a certain level, and it's like,
Right.
okay, and then he started saying something and about the page, and at this point, like, I'm just sick of it. And he goes, well, if you ever need anything else in regards to the page, feel free to write me. I wrote him back I left the group.
Right.
That's the last message I did it. But it was
Right.
like, these guys are getting so caught up over STD. Well, we're adults here,
Yeah.
We
Right.
take Star Trek very seriously. It's a
Right.
TV show.
Exactly.
It's a TV show.
Right.
It's STD. It's funny for a
Right.
reason.
Right.
Sorry.
I mean, then don't name it Star Trek herpes. I mean, come on.
Well, then it was funny because you had people doing different stuff, like they were like pulling up screenshots of Memory Alpha
Yeah.
and stuff, and the abbreviation that dude had put up isn't the right one.
Nice.
So it's like, this is. And at one point, I'm sitting on the couch. I'm like, I'm arguing with Star Trek. I'm arguing
Right.
over this stuff,
Right.
and I'm getting fired up about it.
Right.
Just gonna step back, and
You've become the nerd.
yeah,
You've become that guy. You've gone too far.
yeah.
The problem. I mean, yeah. Having arguments online is pointless.
There's no winner
no.
ever.
No. And of course, I don't remember who said it. There's an old proverb about arguing with an idiot. Never argue with an idiot because they'll drag you down to their level, but they'll beat you with experience.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, it's true. It's absolutely true.
There's no point. Yeah, no, they take. I mean, you've just basically described Twitter at this point. That's what Twitter's become. I mean, my personal page, my personal Twitter account. I know, I just sound like an old man. My personal tweet box. The people that I followed at the beginning, I used to get, witty repartee and funny interactions, and now it's just, I'm angry about something today, and next week I'll be angry about something else, and we're gonna take it too far and pick too many fights.
There's some good porn on there, though.
Yeah, that's not really what I use the old tweet box for. That's the box, isn't it? Go ahead and bleep that one. Yeah, that might have been too far even for me.
Behind the curtain, but
right.
Yeah, it was just, I had those couple stories from Facebook this last week and month or so, and So
basically, we're making friends like crazy.
It was just good stories, It just and I really was. At one moment, you see certain people.
I can't believe the UFO guy was right.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just like, son of a bitch.
So
how do I face my family at night? The UFO guy was right.
Well, I think they don't want to face you at night anyway. So,
yeah. But no. As we kind of we got a few minutes left in this show.
Well, let's dive in and clean up some Facebook stuff, some burning questions.
Okay, since we're still doing the social media stuff,
right?
What do you got? And this was a post I did about what last minute topics was.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, you did it 19 hours ago. That was the second one. I thought you'd done another one. Here.
I did one the other day, but then I did that one last night because the pro wrestling show came up, which I do want to do, and buddy,
we will do a wrestling show. I won't have that much to contribute, but we'll do.
You'll have fun with it.
We'll do a wrestling show.
You keep saying that you won't have anything. You won't have much to contribute to the ghost show.
Right.
And you do just fine in that, so.
Well, I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. The wrestling show is going to be a lot of me making inappropriate jokes.
So just like the cooking show or the sandwich show?
Could be.
Why am I playing with? Take this away from me.
A lot of meat jokes.
Take that away.
So, I was trying to find the old post on Back to the Flood stuff, so I've either missed it or I've gone. So we'll go with the one you did last night. Right. Travis wanted to know about aliens, which we've already talked about.
Yeah, which we want to do that show. And
we want to do that show too.
If you do have a connection to any UFO groups or anything in Iowa,
you've been anally probed, let us know about it.
I want to hear the story about your tailpipe. No, you can always write us on any of the social media pages, just not Tumblr, because apparently we don't use that one. But
just not on Facebook, because he'll piss you off and make fun of you.
Yeah, exactly. Or just be wrong, and the UFO guy will be right.
Right.
You can contact us on Twitter or Facebook, both at 151 The Show, or feel free to email us 151theshow at Gmail. I had to think for a second. I'm like, I haven't used that damn thing.
We're really burning up the lines with that one, aren't we? So
yeah. Feel free because we still really want to do a UFO show at some point.
AJ Winningham wanted to know the great debate of when GTA 6 will be released, which I said right after Half-Life 3.
Yeah, you'd be more the video game guy,
right?
Since I started the new job, my video game playing has completely dropped off.
I'll be honest with you, I think a lot of the major franchise stuff is going to be held up here for a little bit. I mean, in the past year, both major manufacturers have talked about moving to more of streaming stuff where the console is just like a front end basically for the heavy lifting to be done, on their servers. If that happens, there's going to be such a drastic, massive shift in gaming. I'm done. I have satellite internet. I live out in the woods. There's no way. The lag alone. I mean,
have we heard anything about a PS5 yet?
No, and that was one of the things that that's kind of where part of this came from was what they talked about, whether it be another standalone console or
because that's what I'm kind of waiting for in the world of like console games.
Right, and I constantly go back and forth whether or not to go to a PS Pro. Honestly, the big thing, if they'd have stuck a UHD, a Blu-ray drive, the 4K Blu-ray drive in that thing, I'd have one.
Yeah.
But I don't. So
I just heard they're a ways off from it.
Right. It's going to be, I bet it'd be with both Microsoft and Sony having released basically an upgraded version of their current console. I'll bet it's another 3 year before we look at it in the cycle. And I still don't think they're going to be at the top end of the graphics that they can do with these consoles in 3 years. So
yeah, just curious.
Ron Landels, aftermath of the G1 special of NJPW, or what games are you both looking forward in 2019? So that's a 2-part question. I'll be honest with you, I had to Google
what the hell he's talking about
what the G1 special of NJPW, and as far as I can tell,
NPJW is
Japanese wrestling.
Yeah.
I had never heard of it. I mean, that reads to me, I mean, I honestly thought that was some sort of anime.
New Japan Pro Wrestling or something
like that. Yeah.
Anywho, you want to
finish
that off?
I have no idea what the aftermath is.
I don't watch enough. I've watched it a few times,
right,
but not enough to know.
Right,
and really,
I'm gonna make a slightly cleaner version of the joke that I made on Facebook, which is I'm gonna say tentacle porn.
My whole pro wrestling stuff has kind of fallen off a lot. Right. I will say this: back they were doing a special for WWE where you could get the network for free for a month.
Yeah.
And I got it right before WrestleMania.
Nice.
And watched WrestleMania for free.
Nice.
And then I went back and I watched a ton of the old '90s Monday Night Wars stuff.
Yeah. That
was awesome. You forget how good pro wrestling was at that time with WCW Nitro and WWE Raw, and then you forget how much of a cultural impact that stuff made, and that was before social media,
right?
And it was just fun to go back and watch a lot of that stuff.
I think though back before you had all this social media stuff, the only thing that did make a cultural impact though was the good stuff. And I don't necessarily mean that it had to be good. I think you could argue that wrestling is good and bad. There's certainly negative stuff, that made a cultural impact, but it was harder. The bar was much higher for what it had to be.
Well, there was that, but I mean, it's more of a show now.
Right.
I mean, let's be honest here.
What do you mean? I thought it was all real.
Yeah, exactly. That's the oldest joke ever.
I know it is.
Anyways, no, but they're talking about some of the Monday Night Wars stuff where they were able to get away with stuff on TV.
If I didn't know the stuff wasn't real, do you think I'd dad joke like I dad joke and I'm unaware of it? I know what it is.
Sure.
It's crap.
But you go back and some of the stuff they could pull off in the 90s.
Right.
Before social media and before the internet, before you knew whose contract was where and who's getting paid what, it was just neat to go back and watch that and think, wow, every Monday night me and my friends got together and watched this stuff.
Right.
And then we kicked the out of each other in the basement thinking we were pro wrestlers.
Exactly.
So, yeah. What else on the list?
Crazy kids.
I know, right?
Part two of that question, what games are you looking forward to in 2019? I only have one game that I'm looking forward to in 2019 so far, which is Kingdom Hearts 3, coming out in January 2019. My 5-year-old daughter, Savannah, and I are playing through Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 to get ready for that because when she found out that a video game existed that had all the Disney characters in it, she pretty much blew her little mind. That's her favorite stuff. So anything that I can play with my kids, basically, what I look forward to is, Switch games and and stuff that I can get her started on and involved in. So
See, we're not at that point yet with Chase.
right, you got a couple more years.
Yeah, we got a couple. We finally went to our first movie with the kid the other day.
That's always fun.
And you know what his first movie is?
What?
Incredibles 2.
Nice. That's a good way to start.
And you know what? It was a lot of fun. I was telling my wife about it. I go, that was a big dad moment for me.
Yes.
Because that was something, because movies have always been something that I've been really into. There's something about going to a theater and, seeing the big screen, the sound system, the previews, the popcorn,
Right.
the whole thing. It's always been something that I've really enjoyed doing.
Yeah.
And to be able to take the kid to that for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, I flat out told my parents. They were like, oh, we just want to take him to a movie. And I'm like, don't do it before me.
Right.
I will be furious. Like,
Right.
we will be looking at different daycare.
Right.
If you guys do
Right.
that.
I love the theater experience.
Yeah.
I really do.
So the next one for us like that's going to be taking him to his first Iowa game.
Yeah. Nice.
So
Right.
took Steph to her first game at Kinnick. Have to take the boy to his first. And if they lose, he never gets to go back.
No, ever. Never. Can't ever go back.
So what else on this?
This one again from AJ Winningham. Bigfoot. Just go ahead and give your response to that. Nobody gives a shit about Bigfoot.
I couldn't remember I couldn't remember if I had said something earlier today or if it was last night.
No, that was your like almost instant response. It made me laugh so hard.
No, we will. Seth and his brother will probably come on the show again. Probably next go around or closer to Halloween and stuff.
Right, and hopefully we can work it so we can go out on a Bigfoot hunt with him.
Which it still blows my mind that Bigfoot in Iowa is a thing.
Right.
Like, I just don't believe it.
Right.
Like, Seth and his brother completely full of
Right. And yes, and Seth, I tagged you in this because I knew you'd appreciate it. For once and for all, the photo of the Loch Ness Monster being ridden by the Bigfoot with waving to the alien ship overhead is not fake. It's totally real. It's 100% totally real. And you should tag Seth in it every time you see it on the internet.
I would do it if I were you.
Yeah, you should totally do it. He loves it. He loves it.
Now I have to find the exact handle for Calhoun County.
Excuse me. So,
I'll find that. You find her next.
Okay. This one comes to us from Todd Harbison. We hear about the popular myths / cryptozoology, Bigfoot, UFOs, ghosts. Yes.
Yeah, huh?
But what's your guys' view on the less talked about myths / cryptozoology, and do you think it's totally true? Example, megalodons. So, megalodons, what's the chupacabra?
Thunderbirds. The night
Thunderbirds.
crawlers one is starting to heat up again.
Right.
Do you know what that is? Have you ever seen that?
I've heard it, but I don't know any real detail about it.
So I guess I don't understand what he's asking. Just like, what are our thoughts on all those?
Right, on the least known. Basically, everybody knows about the big three. What about the little ones? I mean,
cryptozoology was never my thing. Like
Right.
Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, like they're kind of fun
Right.
to read about. I'm more into the paranormal side of things.
Right.
And myth and legend, that sort of
Right.
thing. The crypto stuff, like some of it's kind of interesting, but it's just
I think it makes for entertaining story, fiction, fodder, and I think a lot of that's what it grew out of. I just I've got an author that I read. He started a new series about a pack of werewolves, and there's a group of werewolves and there's a group of witches, and they're at each other's throats, and of course we have the hybrid offspring, the forbidden fruit of two of them, and special powers and whatnot. I think it makes for great fiction. I don't give it a lot of credence. I mean, every time that we see one of these, this is a weird animal, what could buzz? But okay, it's a wolf with mange.
Well, that's the thing. Like a lot of this stuff, like
150 years ago, hell, even 75 years ago, that would have been give rise to a local legend.
well, even today. But I mean, if you start getting detail after like story after story, and some of the details match up, then you think, okay, there's something going on.
Right.
Do I necessarily go down the road of this has to be a werewolf, or does this is some unknown animal that we've never seen before? No, it's more, okay, what could it be?
Right.
What, and when I've done the paranormal investigations and stuff, that's always how I've kind of looked at it. It's like, okay, I don't go like you brought up earlier, the dude that I'm not saying it was aliens, but it's aliens.
But it's aliens.
It's one of those things where it's like, no, there's a few other steps before you get to extraterrestrials. So when there's parts of stories, like if you had a story about your woods behind your house, and there was story A, story B, and story C, and there are little parts of them that matched up, then you think, okay, something's going on back there. Is it necessarily paranormal?
If I had unexplained noises, and when I moved into this place, somebody been like, "Oh, I can't believe you bought the old Smith place. Haven't you heard the stories?" That would be different.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to what really explains it really well, and we got to bring up one of our favorite books by mentioning it. Remember the King Killer Chronicles?
Yeah.
Name of the Wind. Yeah. When they're talking about what's the name of the weird group in it, the like devil people or something that go around.
I'm blanking, but I know what you're talking about.
Well, anyways, there's a part where he's like, okay, what are people afraid of in this part of the world? And they say what they're afraid of. And then they say, what are people afraid of over here? Okay, so if someone said Shamblemen were in this forest, what would you think? Oh, well, we think we're crazy. Right. Well, if one person came out and said they saw this, one person came out and said they saw this, the question is, would you go into the forest?
Right. No.
So so that's kind of my thought, and that was kind of a really long-winded, not joking kind of going around it. But with paranormal investigation, that's whether it's cryptozoology, Bigfoot, or ghosts, that's kind of the way I think about it. It's like, okay, what's the next step that this could be?
Right. No.
And then if it gets to the point where it's unexplainable, then I'm then it's like, okay, well, hell, this could be something.
I look at, just like Megalodon, which, if I remember right, is the huge shark, whatnot.
Yeah.
Fish stories. I caught a bass once upon a time, and I can tell you through no exaggeration, I heard that story back from somebody that I knew who had heard it from somebody that I told that, that had heard it from my mom or something. Yeah. Because it was a big fish. I was trying to get it out to Bass Pro before they built this one in Altoona, and couldn't get it in their time window. But that thing turned into like some sort of 14-pound behemoth, because it was like a game of telephone. So, all that stuff blows up over time through no fault of anything else. So, I mean, it started out true in some form, I'm sure. Yeah.
No, and there's always an origin of truth in every lie, so.
Exactly.
But I'll
tell you, the most convincing piece of footage that I've seen for Bigfoot, did you see the one, the guy's up in, I think it was British Columbia, in the mountains? So all they've got is their camera on their phone, right? So they've got no zoom. So they're at the top of this peak, and in the valley, there's a figure standing upright. Yeah. And this thing is hauling ass. Like, comes out of, like maybe a cave or something. They just notice, right? Walking around upright, makes a big loop, heads up the side of, like, snowpack and drift, where no human with no goal. If it was somebody lost, they should have been trying to get down. No, this thing's just making a huge, and I mean, it is hauling. Like, you would have to be... Yeah. I don't think a human could have been moving at the clip that this thing was moving and as quickly. But it was definitely bipedal. It was definitely upright. Yeah. I wish they'd had a zoom. That, to me, is the best piece of, like, corroborating evidence. So, Seth, you're going the wrong way. You should be going to British Columbia, dude.
Well, what's funny about, if we're staying with the Bigfoot thing, I mean, I think it's funny that I didn't know about it, and I brought it up with Seth the one time, that there's, in my hometown, Polk City, there's stories of Bigfoot. Right. And just the thought of that in Iowa, that makes me kind of interested in it. Right. So, I don't know.
It's local. You're lazy. We don't have to go that far.
Pretty much. Maybe. But, I mean, no. I mean, I haven't come across some weird stuff at times. And not all of it I've been able to explain. We were doing a ghost hunt at a place out by Perry.
Right.
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 There was no little girl in that building.
Yeah.
I had the voice of a little girl on my computer.
Right.
I don't know where it came from.
Right.
There's stuff like that I just there might be an explanation. I can't find it.
And so what I think about this is funny. So like, let's say Seth and some of the guys come out and do a Bigfoot hunt in my woods. So 30 years from now, if something weird happens, is my 5-year-old daughter going, when I was really little, I think mom and dad had some people out to investigate this place. And does a story grow out of, is that how this stuff starts?
Well, it's that, and then you put a little... how it all starts is a little kernel of truth.
Right. And to be very clear, I mean, besides the, human size, dumps on the back of my deck and the constant, hairy guy running around, I have no reason to believe that there's anything living in my woods.
Other than
half-eaten carcasses and, obviously, human-sized poops.
And my wife is strangely gave birth to very hairy children.
Right, very, very, very hairy little girls.
Well, you know what? You bring that up, though. And, when I was working on the morning show way back when, we were getting ready to do Halloween stuff. And we came up with this ghost story that we put on the air. Mm-hmm. And we made it up.
Right.
But the thing that made it true and made people stop and go, what? Was I knew out by Polk City, out by Sailorville Lake, there was an old, car that had been back there.
Yeah.
So I went and took pictures of it and said, yeah, this is the car. This is the story.
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing you know, people are like, is that true? So, yeah. This got really serious really fast.
No, it took us a while to get here, but...
Yeah. This is the first good show in 3.
Right. Meatloaf.
All right.
1 out of 3 ain't bad.
You want to wrap up with something?
I think we've pretty much exhausted all of the... Because I never heard...
Okay. Then real quick.
Yeah.
Let's finish with this as we
Okay.
get back to more of the nerd stuff.
Right.
And we are going to be have to quick because we're running long in the tooth here.
Right.
But there are reports floating around out there that Patrick Stewart might return to Star Trek.
What?
Thoughts?
The more substantiated part of that I heard was that they're looking to do a Star Trek animated series, and he would lend his voice. I hope it's better quality than the first one.
The original animated series? Yeah.
I think, honestly, in an Adult Swim type environment, in, the day of, The Simpsons is the longest running, show. I think it broke Gunsmoke's record. Futurama, Family Guy, Bob's Burgers, Archer.
Yeah.
I think it can work. I really do. Now, I mean, I would rather see it be and maybe they're looking for CBS All Access. Maybe they're going to pad out more of that programming. I would rather see, 10 or 12 good episodes than try and make 25 cheap filler episodes.
Of animated stuff?
Right, of animated stuff, yeah.
I want to see Patrick Stewart come back to Star Trek.
Right.
But there's a part of me that scares me because of how bad Discovery is. Or, I'm sorry, how bad STD is.
Herpes sucks.
Yeah. Take that, Captain.
And again, Discovery's good stuff. It's just not good Star Trek.
No.
That's mine. That's my whole thing.
I gotcha.
It's just not good Star Trek.
Cool. So you'd be okay with it?
I'd be fine with it, yeah.
All right.
I'd be okay with it.
All right.
So, coming up, I'm going to publicly say this, so we're kind of committed to it, so we'll get off our lazy butts.
What?
We're going to be, hopefully, we're going to do maybe some on-location shows soon if some people go for it. We're going to try some different stuff. I'm going to reach out to some people.
Well, you are our sales department here.
Right. I'm going to reach out to some people. I'd like to do some I recently kind of developed an interest, and now granted my time is limited, but like some campaign gaming.
Dude, we can't put together 2 weeks of shows,
Right, I know.
let alone going out on
I know. That's it.
appearances and all that.
Hopefully some of this stuff happens. So, like if somebody out there watching belongs or runs a campaign gaming, deal, give us a shout, hit us up. I'd like to explore some of those kind of routes.
Justin is
Coming
thinking
up.
about making a life change.
No life changes. No life changes. I'm too old, too boring to make life changes.
All right,
but-
so if you can contact us about that,
right.
or if you're a
UFOs.
UFO person, or even,
Right.
you know what, if there is some kind of like the bizarre or weird stuff out there, because it seems like people really have a genuine interest in that stuff.
Right.
I'm fine with talking about that.
Right, and hopefully everybody that sent in a viewer request here, that topic requests, we've kind of addressed those a little
Yeah.
bit. If there's anything we didn't get to, let us know.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you can contact us through the social media stuff or 151theshow at gmail.com. So,
Right.
cool?
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
That's going to do it for us on this edition of 151. We're presented by Skeleton Wines. You can find out more about them at skeletonwines.com or on their social media page, which is Facebook. It's at
Skeleton Vineyards.
Why do I get to this part of the show and just, like, the brain shuts off?
I don't know.
Okay. As for us, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr, all at 151 The Show.
Good.
You can also find us at 151theshow.com.
Yep.
Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube,
Yep.
plus many, many other podcasting apps. 151 The Show. So.
Right.
All right, friends, we can't end without a shameless plug.
Cue the music. Cue the music.
3 snaps of the Z formation.
Cue the music.
It's so great we got living color.
That's it from now on. Cue the music.
All right, friends, the shameless plug this week is... am I going to do it?
Yeah, you're gonna do it.
All right, it's about underwear.
Oh Lord. Oh no. No visual aids. No.
No, actually, it is about underwear, though.
That's fine. No visual aids.
So I found the perfect kind of underwear out there.
It's a thong, isn't it?
No,
No.
it is not. I actually have recently switched to boxers.
Nice.
Not just boxers. Duluth buck naked boxers.
Oh, very nice. Those have the extra ballroom.
Dude, I am not... Oh, I have a funny ball story for you later.
Okay. Let's save that for off air.
No, seriously, if you're looking for a new style of underwear, and as weird as this is with me looking longingly into your eyes right now, Cam.
Directly into the camera. Can you get up and do one of these into the mic?
Anyways, no, the wife at random bought me some Duluth brand underwear for something like Father's Day or something.
Right.
I'm like, oh, they're boxers. I don't wear boxers. I need my boxer briefs.
Right.
And then I put them on. I'm like, this is amazing.
Oh, good.
My undercarriage has never been better.
There you go.
So if you're, listen, I'm telling you, they're expensive, but they are so worth it. I don't wear anything else now.
Oh,
Just Duluth buck naked underwear.
that's a visual image for you, ladies and gentlemen.
I tried to show everybody, but you wouldn't let me.
Oh, I don't want that visual image. We'll put up an image off the site or something.
Photoshop my head on a really
Right.
ripped up dude.
Right. Yes. Yes.
All right, friends, that's gonna do it. Excuse me, that's gonna do it for us. Thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit.
And so far right now, I mean, you've never taken your pants off in my basement, and I don't want to prove that untrue today. So
I'm trying to think if I took my pants off in your other basement.
it's a good chance. Let's
Yeah.
face it. There's a good chance.
All right, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr, all at 151 The Show, also on 151theshow.com. We're sponsored by Skeleton Vineyards,
Yep.
skeletonwines.com, or at Skeleton Vineyards on Facebook.
Cue the music.
All right, see ya.
Bye.